Hello everyone, Niamh here, and I have a new deck. This was from Kickstarter, and I got it in less than a week ago, a few days ago. By the time this goes up, I'm actually filming this a week before it films, before it goes up. So yeah, so I'll have had it for about 2 weeks at that point. But yeah, I got the True Sight Oracle by Eric Mile. I'm actually not sure how to say their last name. Anyway, yeah, so I got this deck from them, and it was yeah, something that was pretty exciting for me. So, oh, I have the back part upside down. That's kind of funny. I put all the cards in here upside down. Here we go. All right, there we go. Nope, I just messed it up again. There we go, fixed it. Now everything's in there, right side up. Yeah, so this is not the first deck I've gotten from this creator. I also have the Endless Oracle, which it's not in front of me right now. I pulled out a bunch of decks to pair with this and totally forgot to grab the other deck that I have by this creator. But anyway, this is the True Sight Oracle, and it's kind of a... it's based off of like tabletop RPG type things, concepts. And yeah, and I also got a business card right here by the artist. Very nice. And a thank you so much for supporting this project, Eric. Excellent. It comes with a nice little black book guidebook here with all the pictures, a glossy paper. There are tons of spreads in this. Like that I was most excited about. Yeah. So yeah, look at how many spreads there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 spreads. The first one is a like typical past, present, future, but like pretty much the rest of them are yeah, so the first one's past, present, future, but the rest are pretty unique to the deck. So I think that's pretty cool. When I first pulled this deck out, I had my daughter by me, and I did like a little sample reading of this adventuring party spread, and she thought that was pretty interesting. So that's cool. Stat grind spread, campsite spread. Chaos magic spread. Oh, that's so funny because I actually didn't see this before, but I've been looking into chaos magic more lately, so this is actually kind of cool. Because I didn't actually look at all the spreads before I did this video, but I have used this deck already. So it's not in order. True Strike spread, Death Save spread. Boss fight spread. Wow, like the campaign spread. It like there's tons of spreads in here, so that's really very cool. And this deck can be used. I'm gonna go ahead and flip through the cards. They're not in order because, like I said, I have used this deck already. So hope you don't mind. So this deck can be used as an oracle, of course, for divination or for psychological therapy purposes, things like that, typical oracle cards. Or you can use this as part of a campaign. I don't think it's got like its own campaign, but you can use this like it within any other sort of game. So that's kind of neat. And the keywords are nice and simple. Group check, that's awesome. They're all very, you know, tabletop RPG sort of themed, but very applicable to everyday life as well. And the artwork is very nice and simple, which makes this deck a great deck to pair with others. It's very neutral, just black and white, but I think I quite like that. That's typically not my preferred, to just have a plain black and white deck, but for this purpose, I think it works, and it does, it pairs with a lot of different decks very well because it's so simple. Bardic Inspiration, Surprise, Concentration, Ritual Cast. Ooh, I like that. And sorry about my dog there. My daughter just went off to work and she was barking at the at the garage door opening. Yeah, this is actually my daughter's last day of work. She put in her notice, and she is going to be without a job for a while. That's fine. Yeah. This is cool. Difficult terrain, disadvantage. So there was an advantage card, and there's also a disadvantage. Animal handling, acrobatics. I really like these. And then there's a natural 20, and there's also a natural. Did they just call it a natural 1, or what did they call that? We'll see if I come across it. But Arcana, Constitution, bonus action. I love this. And the spread that I used with this, which I will detail, I actually did a full detail of that spread in last week's video, which was going over my March magical month. So go check that out. There's a portion of that video that I actually go through and do a sample sort of reading of the spread that I did using multiple decks, and some of it was with this deck as well. Yeah. In that spread, I use these more like spread positions, which is, natural 1. So yes, so natural 20 and natural 1. I use them like spread positions, which these titles go very well with that. And I quite like that technique. Sorry about the dog. And I may use some of the spreads in here, pulling cards for each of the positions and then adding onto it another deck. That could be a way to do this. Yeah, I think I might pull out a sample spread during this video from the deck. We'll see how it goes. All right, so those were all the cards. How many were there? Was there 44? I feel like there was 44. Because they're not numbered, but they are in the book by alphabetical order, so that helps quite a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how many cards there are. If I come across that in editing, I will put up on the screen how many cards are in this deck. All right, so shuffling. This is a nice shuffleable deck. The cardstock is not thin, but not too thick, so nice and perfect. It's very bendy. I was able to easily bridge and riffle and bridge, so very nice. And it's matte. Yeah, it's kind of smooth, not shiny though. Matte cardstock. No texture to it. Nice and bendy. Let me see. Yeah, very bendy. I like it. So, there's the cardstock talk. One more shuffle. And I kind of want to go straight into pairing this with some other decks. Oh, yeah. Love that. All right, so let's do some pairing. So right off the bat, what I'm going to say really paired well with this, and this is the basically I'm going to pull out the sample spread that I did earlier in the week, but I used the Citadel Oracle. Fantastic, the Citadel Oracle with its companion, the deck of emblems here. And these are the bags that I made for these decks, of course. I'm looking forward to making a bag for this. And I'll probably pull out the the Endless Oracle to show that deck with this, as well as kind of talk about the ideas I might have for a bag for the True Sight. I keep wanting to say the True Sights, but it's the True Sight, singular. So here's the deck of emblems there. All right, trying to organize everything. Okay, so before I lay out the spread, I kind of just wanted to show how these decks look with each other, and they go very, very well together because these decks are both black, white, and red, and then plus the gold or coppery accents mixed with the black and white of this, and obviously these go together fantastically. Yeah, and so this is a natural pairing. Like immediately in my deck, these just go together. So I probably will keep these out for most of the pairing because I think I kind of want to just lay out that sample reading, the layout that I had, and sort of grab in some of the different tarot decks and sort of just experiment a little bit. So let me set that up. Okay, so what I had in my reading was we started off with a card from the Citadel deck that sort of represented how we're coming into the situation, And we have the Orator here, and then it's the next part was what I'm bringing in with me, and that's coming from the deck of emblems. And we have victuals, so sustenance, sharing, sustainability. So there we go, very cooperative. A cooperative sort of energy is what we're bringing in to the situation. And then I pulled 3 cards from the True Sight to sort of be spread positions for the tarot spread. So we have here Bardic Inspiration. Okay. Ooh, let's focus there. Okay. And then we have Combat, so a conflict of some sort. And then finally Survival. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, my sample reading that I did earlier, or not a sample reading, it was actually a full reading. It was for the new moon. I actually used the Crow Tarot with that because I was doing a reading with on Morrigan, so that is often the deck that I use for that. However, I thought a better deck that to pair with this would actually be the Murder of Crows. Which I also sometimes use for on Morrigan, but honestly for this, I really just wanted to, for that reading, I really just wanted to use my Crow Tarot. So I have not shuffled this at all. This is a huge deck, and I have the version of the Crow Tarot that has all the red accents on it, which was a limited edition thing. So, which I much prefer. I would not have been happy with the just plain black and white one. All right, so with this, oh, it's quite large, but let's see if we can. All right, I don't want to put this too far out of frame because the point here is the True Sight Oracle here. So then using, this is the actual reading itself. These are the spread positions. So, the Bardic Inspiration, we've got the Ace of Wands. That makes sense. Then Combat is the 4 of Cups, so a certain level of apathy, maybe. And then finally, Survival. We've got the Sun here. Okay, so an illumination of things. So, I mean, that's pretty good reading. So I kind of, and how do I like this? Actually, I'm kind of surprised that this actually doesn't look as nice as I thought it would. So I am going to put different... I don't know if it's like focusing or not. I can't quite tell on the camera. So athletics was one of the ones that I got too, because I felt that this sort of represented a how to be flexible with a situation. That's kind of how I read that as a question, and maybe there's a sense of chance here, and maybe because one thing you could do when you're coming across, when you're creating spreads from an oracle deck, using it as spread positions, you can rearrange them. You can pull out a set number of cards and then rearrange them to what makes most sense. But I don't actually think I like it with the Murder of Crows Tarot. I thought I would, but the coloring is off quite a bit. So I think I'm going to put this one away. So I'm actually a little surprised by that one, but yeah. Okay, so I moved these cards down so that the focus is more on these, and then we'll put the tarot cards up here. And I also refreshed some of these, but I thought maybe I could also try the Goblins and Gardens tarot, of course, because of course this would be a good pick for this sort of system here, a gaming sort of system. And the next deck I'm going to pull out is also in that vein. So here we go. All right, so we got the Lovers for performance, King of Coins for disadvantage. Oh, okay. And then we got King of Swords for cantrip. So how do we like this combination? I actually think this kind of works. This works. I think I would prefer it the other way where this is actually on top, but for this video, I think I'm going to put it here so that we can, the focus is a bit more on this, but, and the botanist and pomegranate with these, actually, that's kind of fun. That was unintended, but that's kind of funny. So Spy Master with the key, okay, if that makes sense. And then we've got Persuasion, bonus action, and group check. Ooh, that's cool. And then pull out 2 of coins, 4 of swords, and 5 of cups. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I think it makes sense that goblins and gardens would go well with this. Of course. Whoops, just throwing the card across. Sorry. Concentration, Constitution, and Arcana. Okay. Just checking this out, seeing how much I like this, and I think Goblins and Gardens works. So let me pull out the other kind of gaming sort of deck. Okay, so the next one is the Zelda Tarot. So I'm certain this will go well. I'm certain of it. I know it will. I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but it's obvious that this would go very well. So I'm going to pull out this. All right, so we've got the Gambler here with the locket. Okay, we're coming in as the Gambler with a locket. And then the spread positions are Proficiency. That really works with that. Surprise. And then Natural 20. So interesting. Okay, so let's see how I'm going to quickly do an overhand on this. But all right, so Proficiency. Oh, okay. And this already looks pretty cool. I'm already liking this. King of Wands for surprise. And then the 8 of rupees for the natural 20. Okay. So how can we achieve that natural 20 through hard work? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I like this. I'm going to switch out. Do the next. Let's see. So the Smith and Helm. A level of control. So intimidation, total party kill, okay, and reaction. Ooh, okay. And then we can see Page of Coins, the High Priestess. So how do we like the way this looks? Color-wise, I think it's going pretty well. I think it makes sense. That said, I think I actually enjoyed the Goblins and Gardens more than this, even though this is the black and white coloring here. Difficult terrain and nature. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do one more. Let's see. I like this. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. All right. So I'm going to put these ones back for now for the rest of these pairings. But I do think these are just like fantastic with the True Sight Oracle. And they've really already formed some sort of bond in my collection here. And yeah, so I'm definitely planning on doing lots of different combination readings with the Citadel and Deck of Emblems with the True Sight. All right, so one of the things I kind of wanted to show, because of the coloring of this, I figured it would go very well with some of the Kim Cran's decks, the Wild Unknown. So I pulled out the tarot, the Wild Unknown Tarot, which I'll put on one side of these, of this. And then I have another deck as well. And I actually have 3 of the Kim Cran's decks. I have the Animal Spirit and the Tarot and my newest one, which is the Archetypes. So I will pull that out in a moment. So I'm gonna put the tarot card over here. So and this could be potentially some sort of reading here, or combination thereof. And this is, of course, my Archetypes deck, which is round. I'm going to do a shuffle on this real quick. All right, so, and I'm going to have to be doing lots of twisting on this. Ooh, and actually, I'm going to take off a chunk. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this obviously looks pretty good. Maybe I would put the circle in the middle. Let's see. trying to organize here. Okay, so what do we kind of think of this? I think it looks pretty good. Just not completely sure how I feel about it. I think I'm just, you know, obviously it looks great together. Like there's nothing that says, oh my God, she's totally don't match. I'm just not quite sure how I would use this combination or something like this. It does go well together, which I'm not surprised. It makes sense that these decks would go well together. Like I said, the black and white nature of the True Sight tends to go well with other decks like this, especially, you know, it's a neutral going well with other neutrals. And yeah, in general, I think this works fine. So one of the decks I wanted to try is a deck I almost never ever use. But I just kind of came across it as I was trying to find some decks. So let's check out this one. So this is the Jonas 5th edition. So it's the green one, the smaller green one. I love the cardstock on this. I love the way this shuffles. I do really like this deck, but it is like Marseille based, and I'm not proficient in Marseille. Ooh, I love the way this looks. This actually looks really nice. Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm totally here for this. This is actually going very smoothly. I might use this combination in a nightly reader. Ooh, the light just shifted in here. Hopefully that doesn't affect editing too much, but there we go. I'm really enjoying this combination. Okay, this was a surprise winner for me. Yeah, I'm totally here for this. Oh, the energies work too. Because the funny thing is, with the Kim Kranz decks, I was convinced those ones would be fantastic with this, and they look fine. But there was something not right with the energies. But I'm definitely getting those energies with this deck. So this was a surprise for me. Really like this. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next deck. All right, so I thought I'd give the Morgan Greer a shot here, and I imagine this will go well, but let's see how this goes. I have the pocket edition here in the tin. All right, so we'll split it right here. Ooh, I'm going to have to take a chunk off of the True Sight here. There we go. Okay, let's see. I'm just getting an initial feeling on this. It's okay. It doesn't quite go as well as I thought it would here, but it's okay. I really, really loved the Jonas with this. Yeah. So before I do a couple sample spreads or something, I wanted to pull out 2 more decks that I'll probably maybe do together just to kind of see how I like it. And not that I plan to use these together. It's just I have 2 more decks, and I just kind of want to see how it goes with this. So the first one I have here is the Bushido Oracle. And this is, of course, one of my Japanese decks, so it's in Japanese. But it is kind of anime style or manga style, like Bushido Warriors. And I thought maybe this could look kind of neat. I don't know. This deck, I don't know. It's got a masculine vibe to it. To do a quick shuffle here. It's kind of got a masculine vibe, but yeah, I kind of wanted to see how this would look. I don't hate it already. It looks pretty good, so we'll see where it goes from there. And then the other one I wanted to try was the Starco's Astro Oracle. And I don't know how I'm going to use these combinations. I had the idea of potentially doing something like this. Interesting. And of course, the Bushido Oracle, there's a whole added level of, information about the said warriors. So, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about this combination. Let's see. Pallas Athena, think, and then we got history, and then this warrior here. Oh, and you know what? I'm pretty sure it's got some of the English. I think, yeah, it's dual language in here. So, all right, so I finally found that. I'm going to have to number these cards because they're not in order in this deck. But so this one, the key phrase under there was respect the other. Yeah, respect the other. So interesting combination here. So let's see. Readied action. So okay, so I'm going to go through and just sort of flip these through and pay less attention to what's actually on the card and pay more attention to the aesthetics of it and see how much I like it or not. And again, I'm not necessarily planning on doing these particular decks together. It was just, these are the last two that I had to pair, so I kind of wanted to see how they look with each other. I mean, I could try to do how this looks with this, which I actually think goes pretty well. And then this with this, which also goes pretty well. Yeah, and then of course, you know, I could combine these with other decks. The Astro cards, I bet, I could utilize that in some sort of way. So interesting. Okay, I do like them. I don't think I like these two together with this. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But individually, I think these probably go well, and these probably go well. So there we go. Okay, so the last deck I wanted to show with this is actually the Endless Oracle, which is the other deck by this creator that I have. I am looking to get the other decks, like the Inkwitch, or there's a new one that they're coming out with. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If I remember in editing, I will put that on the screen. But there is a new tarot deck that is coming out by this creator. So I'll see which one I kind of lean more toward. And I know they also have a Lenormand deck. And yeah, so anyway, here is the bag for the Endless Oracle. And I actually did a full video on my art channel where I was creating this bag. And yeah, and I love it. And I may do something similar to this with the True Sight. I'm thinking I might use this. I have a little bit of this material left. This was the fabric I used for my Zelda tarot. And while I wasn't too particularly keen on this deck with the True Sight, surprisingly, I think this this fabric here would actually go really well with it, so I might reuse this fabric. So anyway, here is the Endless Oracle. So here's the thing with the Endless Oracle. It is meant to be read in a line, or because it is somewhat panoramic. So I was kind of thinking I could do something like this, where I have, if I'm doing a spread with these decks, and let me just do this. Maybe we can start off how we're starting off on this trail. Maybe similar to how I was reading the that other deck, the Citadel decks. That could look kind of cool. We'll start off with a difficult terrain, and this is the path we're taking and where we'll end. And then, of course, you could add on a tarot reading underneath. You could, like, depending on how complex you want to make this. Let me see if I can grab something. 10th house, maybe authority. We're starting off with this is the oh, I need to zoom out. This is the Starcoats Astro Oracle. So let's see, maybe we zoom out a little bit here. Sorry about the light coming in from the side. I have a window over there that doesn't have a curtain, so there we go. All right, close enough. So we could start off like this, maybe some energies here, and potentially have a reading underneath, going with the Yonasa Yaos, because this turned out nice. All right, let me see. Maybe a 3-card reading underneath, like this, maybe. I am very much out of frame. Let's get rid of this astrological card and see how I like this. Okay, this is a pretty interesting layout, I think. I think this kind of works. Let's see, we can change out some of this. And of course, the meanings of the end cards and everything could, you know, shift and change. You know, I don't really have a meaning here for what I have going on. But I mean, this... you know, the Endless Oracle is read a little bit like a Lenormand, where it's kind of read like a story or read in sequence. Oops, I have that upside down. Yeah, so like that's the path that's being taken, and potentially this adds on to that information. I don't know. I'm just kind of riffing here and coming up with potential ways I could utilize these two decks by the same creator with potentially a third deck, a tarot deck of some sort here. I don't know. So what do you think of this? I feel like this is some sort of reading that we could glean something from. But anyway, all right, there is that. All right, so the last little bit here, I kind of just want to grab one of these spreads. Ooh, maybe the Chaos Magic spread. Okay, so, oh, it's by Lisa Papez. Okay, that's awesome. So this spread is designed to tap you into the possibilities for empowerment and personal growth with the inevitable chaos of life. When you find yourself feeling out of sorts, as if something is causing chaos in your life, go to this spread to figure out how you can harmonize with this energy and use it to your advantage. So begin by shuffling your deck and drawing 6 cards. The first card gets placed in the center of your spread. Cards 2 through 5 are placed in a chaotic order around the central card. Flip them in any order you choose, letting your intuition guide you. The order you flip them over... The order you flip them over determines their number in the spread. So the first card you flip over after the central card is considered number 2, the next is number 3, and so on. Finally, the 6th card is placed at the bottom of your spread with intention. All right, so I left out the Yonasa Yaos because who knows, maybe I'll add it in as part of this. This is just going to be a little sample spread. I'm not really, you know, a lot of times these sample spreads are like, oh, there's no actual meaning to this, but then it turns out relevant to my life or someone else's life. So I don't know. I don't know how involved of this reading I will do. So it said pull out 6 cards. So the way I like to shuffle and pull my cards, I like, if I can riffle shuffle the deck, I will riffle shuffle as much as possible, and then I start doing overhand, and I pull from the deck by just running my finger through like this and picking a random card and then putting whatever was on top on the bottom. So I'm going to pull out 6 cards like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so the first card goes in the center, and then randomly place the other cards, and then the 6th card here at the bottom. All right. Oh, am I in frame? I am not in frame. Okay, we're going to pull out. Here we go. All right, let's see how we do this. So the first card is Wild Magic Surge. So the first card is this. Advantage. What a great card to get for this. What unpredictable or difficult to control force is influencing your life? So advantage is that's great. What a good card to get for this. I'm trying to find, I keep going over, there we go. Okay, advantage. So benefit, upper hand. Someone has the upper hand. So what unpredictable or difficult to control force is influencing your life. So maybe I have the advantage, or whoever this is potentially for has the advantage for this. So it's unpredictable, the advantage that you have, but you have an advantage in this situation. Okay, so random card, we're going to go with this one as number 2. So group check. Okay, and this was the spark. What is the catalyst or cause for the sudden influence's appearance? Group check. All right, going to find that real quick. Of course, I could read these intuitively, which was kind of how I was reading it before. I wasn't really going to the book, but for this, I guess I'll go to the book. So teamwork, group effort. I'm not going to read everything. So the spark is a group effort, a teamwork sort of vibe here. And of course, I could also add in tarot cards with these to add an added level, which, these sorts of oracle decks, I usually use, well, oracle decks in general, I usually use very minimal of them, and then I use several tarot cards, so I tend to use one or two, or a couple more if I'm using it as spread positions, and then the base of the reading is actually the tarot, but I'm just kind of having fun here. So and then card number 3 is right here, so long rest. Okay, and this is the gift. No, the impact. Okay, so it's going to be tiring. You're going to need a long rest. And then the next one is the gift. We have cantrip. Ooh, what is the information for that? So cantrip, quick action, unpreparedness. Okay, sometimes it's better to act swiftly than it is to spend too much time on a thorough strategic plan. Okay, so I'm just kind of regrouping here. Okay, so wild magic surge is the unpredictable or difficult control force, and that is advantage. And all right, sometimes it's unpredictable to have the advantage in this situation. The spark is the teamwork involved with that, the group check. The impact is a tiring aspect. It's a long rest. And then we have the gift. What blessings does this new influence offer? Quick action. Okay, so this group effort and our advantage, it might be tiring, but there's quick action involved. And then finally, before we get to the last card, the 5th card here is the Chaos Mastery. How can you masterfully take control of the situation? Encumbered, taking on a lot. So we got to kind of take on a lot for this situation. And then finally, Forever Changed. How will this dance with chaos change you? And we've got True Sight. What a great card to have in the last one. So we've got, this may be a very tiring sort of situation going on, but we have the advantage. We have a team effort going along that does bring about some quick action, but it's something we got to take a lot on to get to that true sight. And I am going to look up what it says here at the end. True sight. Getting there we go. True sight, the truth and the reality. So we got to take on a lot to get to that true reality of the situation. So that's pretty cool. And of course, I could bring in the tarot cards, and we can do the advantages. Ooh, what is this? This is in a different language. I'm trying to remember what this is. So is this a hermit? I think this is a hermit. Okay. The advantage is the hermit. And then the next one was this card, was this one here. So I'm leaving the actual name of the card on top. And then it was this card. So the King of Wands as the long rest. Interesting. And then we have, I think this is Judgment as the cantrip, as the quick action. And then this is the Emperor as encumbered, taking on a lot. That kind of makes sense. And then finally, the True Sight, we have the 6 of Swords. Yes, the 6 of Swords. So interesting. I mean, that's an interesting sort of way of doing it as well. All right, so there we go. I actually really, really loved the Nasty Yowls, this particular version of it, because this is the version that I have. 5th edition. I really like that with this deck, which is a total surprise. I was not expecting that. And as I said, I also absolutely love it with the Citadel deck and the companion deck here, the deck of emblems. So there we go. So this is my new deck. It is the True Sight Oracle. Absolutely love it. Big fan of this deck. I'm really excited to see where I will take this deck, and how many, like, what kind of spreads I'll do with this deck, and what kind of decks could combine with it, and yeah, have a lot of fun with this. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.